we're going to, I keep redlining my mic. We have a tradition on Christmas Eve to, this may sound a little bit peculiar, but we make clam chowder, homemade clam chowder for Christmas Eve, and you know, turn on the fireplace and sip the eggnog. With the, what can you put in? What can you put in eggnog? So yep. All right. Well, thank you for that showing of real traffic. DB Vetter says it is really cool. I agree. Yep. So what I might
4334 320 contact departure good flight.
What I might do is load up and try to do a flight over to Denver from here, and by the time I get there, Pilot Edge should be open. I'm kind of scared to go on Pilot Edge, to be honest, and I might just do the Minneapolis to Denver flight off of Pilot Edge and then load up in Denver on Pilot Edge and go somewhere else, or I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Your wife is pregnant. Well, congratulations. That's a good thing, right? By the time you get there, don't you mean by the time you take off? You very well could be right, B2. Yep, you could be very, very well right. At LAX, all ops cars are being ADS-B equipped. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Stop being a chicken and get on PE. All right, let's do ProjectFly first, right? Let's do the old Project McFlyski. So let's open up the sim stall. And we'll make a booking. ProjectFly. We got a ProjectFly in your face. We'll put the ProjectFly in your face. What you gonna do now? What you gonna do now? Better connect to PE when I come to collect. Okay, let's search for November 37. Let's see, 737-800 Delta. We're going from KMSP. Oops, yeah. KMSP. Select that. KDEN. So true or false? Just a few months ago, I landed in the real world in a Cirrus plane in Denver at night. Santa spotted in Europe. Ooh, nice. 4Flight was being funny last night. Okay, Delta 572. We are going to be on Pilot Edge. Create the booking. And we're going to dispatch. And we're going to do, oh, that's interesting. It thinks there's another one going to Vegas. Dispatch via some brief and go. We'll log into SimBrief. Okay. Here's our briefing. It's saying Shep 9, ONL, Kipper 4. Let's compare that to 4Flight. So over here, if we go to Maps, Flight Plan, Shep 9, ONL, Kipper 4. Perfect. Export the flight plan. PMDG flight plan. Download, sure. Okay. Cooly dooly. So with that being said, we'll come over here to the scene and we'll say fly now. Set parking brake. Ready to depart. Minneapolis to Denver. This is going to be what John Fly considers a long haul. So we're going to take... Oh, look at that. We got our ProjectFly. There's the ProjectFly. Sweetness. The overlay is back. It even shows our progress bar, doesn't it? I don't like how Active Sky does that. I wonder if you can disable that. Active Sky weather request. See? Can you close that window? Okay. ProjectFly. That looks okay, doesn't it? Right there. Showing the correct plan. Alright. I forgot how to fly this plane. Okay. I'm going to use my Zebo checklist because it gives me a few reminders. Come down here and we'll go FMC. And we'll go menu. Let's just do cold and dark. Just because I need to practice my NGness. NGness? Yes, you can use that word. I need to do the cold and dark start regularly. And you can, well, I need to do the cold and dark start. I need to learn this plane inside out because the chicken doesn't pot pie itself. Am I right? The chicken does not pot pie itself. Alright, so let's do some fuel planning. According to that sim brief, oops. Our block fuel is 15,956. Okay. We could probably do that in the let's turn the battery on and close the guard there. I think we'll also just get the APU going. Standby power is already good, right? Let's turn the ground power on. So FSX actions, ground connections, ground power connected. Okay. Just landed at Minneapolis. Merry Christmas. Hello, Ninja. QP. Titan 2002. Welcome. Vips Pilot. Hello. Brad O. Zebo. Exactly. Santa made a stop at your house. Put some things under the tree. Nice. Santa not going to be with the UK till mid through the night. Okay. I hope he brings me some whiskey. Some information whiskey. Alright, let's turn the ground power on. How come I'm not getting any sounds? General sounds. That's probably why. Let's do the volume mixer. Oh, that's why. Okay. Alright, let's do... Let's do a fuel pump. Let's start the APU. Alright, let's come up here and start the Irs Alignment. Oops. Cabin utility powers on. Passenger power on. Passenger light is on steady. Passenger signs to that's interesting. Baby's not happy. Okay, we'll do I'm not hearing any sounds right now. Do you only have? Yep, I only got the 2 planes right now, Bacon. Yep. I think I'll try to. I'll do those 2 planes, and then move on to some other planes like the dash. Let's do this sound. I'm gonna go there, there. Yeah, that'll work. No, I do not have the 320 in this simulator. I don't. Okay. Okay, we can close the guard on that. We can do trim air. Trim air's on already. We can. Circ fans are on. It's good. Window heat. I need to make an NGX specific checklist because my Zebo's got things that have buttons and knobs and switches in different places. APU gen, or sorry, APU gen. APU bleed is already on. Ground power can. Right click, right? Is that aligning still? Did that not the best order. Okay, ATC clearance. So let's come down here and let's enter the IRS position. So we'll do init. Pause init. Last position. Could go previous page. Yeah, put in KMSP. Oh, we got a subscribe. Pack abort.
Merry Christmas. P3D is pretty good, but have you tried X-Plane?
I have not. Should I, is the question. It's interesting how the sub sound's not working either. Thank you, Pack abort, for the subscribe. Appreciate that. My baby is not happy. Thank you very much. All right, let's do last position, set IRS position. Come back down here and we'll do the route KMSP to KDEN. I could do that export right there and load the company route, couldn't I? But I won't. Departure. Well, we'll do the init first. 0 fuel weight. Reserves are showing. think it shows. Is that right? 2.2. It does have alternate fuel in there as well. Cost index today, well, let's run 90. Why not, right? Let's go at flight level 360 and we'll execute. Thank you, Packabort, for the support. I appreciate that. Just installed almost a terabyte of ortho scenery. Man, I hear you. Right now I'm copying some Europe stuff, and it's 5 terabytes. N1 limit. Outside air temperature. No D rate. Flaps 5. CG trim set. Can't set the V speeds until I choose the runway. So if I go over here to position, that's showing the gate. That's kind of cool. Today's runway will be 30 right. So 30 right. And that looks good. And now I put my V speeds in. You had a terabyte on an external drive, and it didn't. Yeah, that's not good. All right, our departure today will be. Oh, you know what else I didn't do today? I hope I have the correct nav data in. All right, the departure out of Minneapolis is the Shep 9. So we're going to do Shep 9 with the ONL transition. And again, we're going runway 30 right. Yep, it's perfect. And then we'll go to the legs page. Okay, ONL. And then we're going to go departures and arrivals into Denver. We're going to do the Kipper 4. I think my nav data is up to date. Transition ONL. I don't know what runway Denver's landing, but let's see what happens when we look at Flight Radar 24. So over here on the Flight Radar 24, if we type in KDEN, could change, but it looks like that guy's coming in from Montrose. Well, he may not be landing. Hold on. Yeah, that's guy. Okay, so they're landing south. So we can try for 17 left. Yeah. 17 left would work. So ILS 17 left. We won't do a... should I do a transition? How old is it? I bought the NGX in 2013. Packabort. I won't do a transition. Okay, let's go to the legs page. See if we have any discounts, and we do. Kipper. All right, I think we're good there. Let's activate. Execute. There we go. We've calculated some good V speeds. Set our squawk code. Today we'll be squawking. Should I squawk VF? I can't squawk VFR because I'll be at the flight levels. I'll just turn this on now. Test the T-A-R-A. You bought it for FSX, I'll have to rebuy it for P3. Yeah, you have to rebuy it. It's kind of to hit to the wallet. Alright, let's set altimeter, which this is one thing that I should probably incorporate into the X-plane, is my ability to sync the altimeter to whatever it is currently. Oops. Well, that looks 2D. So as you can see, I'm still getting used to these views. As you can see right down there, as soon as I hit the letter B, this is going to change to 3011. That's kind of handy. Kind of handy. Leaving KBNA, headed to Denver, meet you there. Perfect, perfect. Okay, so pressure panel now. We'll set flight altitude up to 36,000. This reminds me, I'm going to see if I can get my I'll see if I can get my MCP panel going. Denver, well, it's 5,000 something, right? Can someone quickly, whoever gets me the field elevation for Denver, you get snacks. Some snackage. Alright, pressure panel is set, altimeter is set, FMC has been programmed. Let's see if I'll bring up the second cam for a moment. Let's see if the MCP is working. So there is the cockpit view. 5450, thank you. Uh-oh, 5381. Uh-oh, we have some difference of opinion. Although that could be different sides of the airport. Add 44 to Tika. Good morning, Camero. Thank you, Tika. TCA. Alright, let's, now that we got the pit cam up, let's see if we can get the MCP panel working here. So we'll run the GoFlight interface tool, 64-bit for P3D V4. Denver International, okay, there you go. There's a lot of information. Cool. Alright, the wizard is coming up, or sorry, the interface is coming up. Let's see if it synchronizes with the sim. You guys wouldn't believe the technical problems I had this morning with so many parts of the simulator. Okay, from the chart it's 5434. Okay. I guess there's a couple different parts of the airport that they measure from. Alright. Alright, I think she's working, so I can minimize that. And let's see if it's working. So as you can see on the pit cam, I'll come over here to the MCP and I'm going to rotate up here in the real world. And it's working perfectly. Man, I love that. I'm going to go ahead and set 360 flight level just because the FMC will follow the constraints of the departure. It's one less thing to do. So happy that that works. That is amazing. All right, trim. Let's do that. Come over here to the init page and one takeoff trim 6.09. So we'll come down here. We'll zoom in on that and we'll set the trim. Oh, wrong trim button. I have different trim buttons for the other sim, for the X-plane. And I need to remember that. So trim is going to be set to 6.09. Wow, it was way off. You know what? We probably shouldn't set this until we hit my fuel, though. Hold on. I'm going to have to redo this trim, I think. So let's do index. Let's do menu, PMDG setup, aircraft. No, not aircraft. No. I want to do FS actions. Fuel. I'm going to have to redo this. Although it's, yeah, okay, we don't need that much fuel. I had a lot of technical problems with your eggs. You worked the problem and you won. Dude, you have no idea what happened today with me regarding my pit and the technical issues I had. It's just like, it was just like... Alright, we need to carry 18,000 pounds, so I'll round that up because I go around. We'll go 19. And we're gonna go 2/3 full. Oh, that's fuel. Never mind. So I got to change that to 19. And yeah, that looks good. Payload. Random. 21 and coach. No. There we go. 10 and 20. There we go. A full load going to Denver. Okay, now I'm going to recalculate. Trim is now 5.48. Okay. The runway elevation is between 5291 and 5431. There you go. Good morning, Canada. Ghost in the machine type stuff. I'll talk about it in cruise. We have so much cruise time. I will give you a breakdown of how crazy my morning was with the technical issues. All right, 5.48. Let's set that right there, give or take. Okay, trim is set. We'll come up to the overhead and we'll do fuel pumps on. And we'll do hydraulic pumps on. And a collision light on. And pushback. Again, menu, FS actions. Let's disconnect the ground power, remove the chocks, close the doors. And I think that's good. So FS actions, pushback. Pushing back today. What do we want to do? Truck and Nutter, good morning. Alright, so we're kind of at an angle. So if we push back straight, let's try 175. That's a good guess. I could be totally wrong. 175 straight. And let's start. And there's where we're not having the sound. Because normally that captain's talking to us. Okay, so I got, you guys can hear that right there, right? Yep. That looks good. If we go to general, sound, let's try that. Is there a master volume maybe? We are pushing back, so that's good. Uh-oh. Look at that. We went back to the low res graphics, I think. No? We're okay. It looks... Yeah, I think my res changed. Didn't it? Graphics. Yeah, see, it went to low. I don't get why it does that. That's the problem that's been haunting me in this sim. Right now I don't have any sound. Oh, you know what? Isn't there the letter Q? There's the letter Q. My bad. Set parking brake, okay.
Alright, brakes are set and pressure's...
Yeah, you read my mind at the exact same time, Sanjit. So now we go to general. I want to change one thing here. I'm just going to turn that down just a little bit. Maybe that's the air conditioning. Is that the environment, maybe? Turn that cockpit up a little bit. Tweaking, tweaking, tweaking. You're a mind reader, exactly. Alright, let that load up. There we go. Alright, that was not too bad of a pushback. I mean, probably could go a little further, but that's fine. Normally you do engine start, but that's okay. Okay, let's go packs off, which they are, and let's do an engine start. So we'll turn. It switched again. Do you guys have any idea why it's doing that? It's. Should I just try to? Should I try 2048? I have no idea why it's doing that. Let's try 2048 and see if it switches back. Okay, we'll go down here. I'm gonna wait for. Now, someone told me to wait for 25% on the NG, and this was a real-world 737 NGX captain, and I was introducing fuel at 20, but he said in the real world they do it 25. Now, does that vary from SOP to SOP? But there's 25. Low res again, yeah. Ashix just told me why. That sucks the way it has to redraw every time. Yeah, it does. Ashix said, the res changing is because you have the A2A 172 as the default plane. Oh. So what should I set the default plane to, Ashix? That's an amazing bit of information. Thank you. It's very bad to have special planes as default as they load stuff in. Oh. Perfect. I love you. Yeah. Cool, cool, cool. Thank you, Mr. Chu. Alright, so someone also said to wait to not start engine 1 until the EGT has stabilized on the first engine. And it's stabilized, I believe. So we can come back up here and we can start number 1. And we'll wait for 25. You always do 25, Sanjit? Okay. Just the F-16 or whatever Lockheed has default. Okay. I will make sure that I do that. That'll be good for the next flight. For sure. Okay, 25% fuel added. This flight beam Minneapolis looks really good. You can start the next engine when the starter switch is turned back off on engine 2. Actually, what I was told was something that was just a little bit different than that. But again, I think it probably is SOP related. Let me just bring up this comment. This is a that's good. This is a quote from a real world captain. Just 1 second while I bring it up here. Okay, this is what the real world captain said. He said, we talked about it already, the 25% N2, and then the EGT stabilizes. He says you should wait until the first engine has stabilized after start, EGT especially stabilized. And so I'm not sure if the switch of the engine up here, if that switches to, if that goes back after the EGT is stabilized? I don't know. And he said specifically, when the engine start switches goes back automatically, that is not necessarily the time to start the second engine. You need to look at the stabilization. So, I don't think the sim is particularly the sim is not going to complain, but if you wanted to be a little more like the real world, like this particular SOP, then you would wait until that EGT is set and stabilizes. Something to think about, I guess. Okay, so Mr. Chu waits for bleed pressure to build up at least before starting the second engine. First switch switches to off, then after some seconds it stabilizes. So there's probably a time difference between the switching off and the stabilization. We're learning. I love it. I love it. All right, we'll come back up here and we'll go packs on, and we'll also do engines bleeds on. They're on already. APU bleed can come off. Oh crap! Better do this part. Very important. Right click. Probe heat on. We just had an active sky update. And anti-ice is coming on. Wing anti-ice, engine anti-ice, because there's some moisture out there today. Yaw damper on. Flaps. There's 2. And there's 5. We'll now set our auto brake to RTO. Taxi light coming on. And runway turn-off lights on. I'm going to probably be able to do this, without a checklist, but you're supposed to monitor the engine startup until it's stabilized. If you are starting the second one before monitoring 2 engines at the same time is tricky, and you have an issue with the first one, you have to kill both. Okay, that makes sense. First switches to off. Yeah. Alright, let's set the MCP. So I'm going to turn this is so cool down here. You can see I'm using a hardware panel here. I'm going to switch the flight director on both sides. I'm also going to set my speed. Someone said to do V2 plus 20. And I'm getting different answers on the V speed. So my V2 today is 156. So I'm going to set it 176. What would you guys set it to? Some do V2 plus 15. But I'm going to set up V2 plus 20, so 176. My heading today will be, I'll rotate that to 300. I think we're ready to go. I guess I could arm LNAV and VNAV. Sweet. And you guys are saying V2 plus 5. Okay. Why are people saying V2 plus 20? But 3 of you are saying V2 plus 5, so I'm changing it. Dang it. V2 plus 5 would be 161. Alright, we'll set that to 161. Thank you. Alright, let's taxi. Took forever and a day to taxi, and while we're taxiing, I'm going to turn I'm going to turn ground back on.
And taxi to Golf 14 is opposite direction traffic. They'll be waiting for you downfield coming out of the east base. Alpha.
It's a pretty quick taxi. We're just doing a little UE.
671, opposite direction 75. It'll be pulling the gate Golf.
Should I actually try to go taxi where these guys are taxiing in the real world? Maybe. Let's take a look. So gate. Let's go up. The drone's flying up. Ooh, dizzy.
5895 running 17, taxi Quebec. Cross 184, left and right, hold 230 left.
It depends on the winds. Yeah, I think right now he's...
So 3419 minutes, starting to 30 right via Papa.
There's a plane taking off right there. So it just took off of 30 right, I think.
ground sky, let's put on different. You can turn the text out after pop up for us.
Let's see if there's... Yep, there's some real world traffic going on. Oops.
Skies 4906, cut over to Quebec now. Left Quebec cross 4 by and hold turn at 30 left.
Accidentally did a spool up there.
Quebec cross 1 my foot for 30 Now we going to 30 left or 17? 17 for you. Roger, thank you. Hey, ground bridge there 5895. Just confirm the taxi route to Quebec runway 4. And what was the rest?
Interesting, they've switched runways. Okay.
Cross 4 left Mike, hold turn at 30 left Mike. Okay, we'll follow CRJ for 5895. Hold short of 30
Let's just go put ourselves into the mix and see where these guys are going. And for those of you who are just tuning in, this is an actual plane that's on the ground right now in Minneapolis. And I'm going to pretend like I'm cool and just mix myself in with the real world. And I'm listening to the live ATC. That guy's getting ready to push. Or taxi.
2554 Minneapolis ground, roger. Just make the right turn on the Alpha and hold your position for opposite direction traffic. That heavy there off your right will be Coleman.
Merry Christmas, Daniel. Good morning, Rudyism. Drone launch confirmed, right?
2554. Just go north on Delta for a moment. Hold short of Fox 14.
North on Delta, short of Fox 14.
Can you guys hear the ATC okay?
That traffic pushed out of Fox 6. They'll be moving out of the way in just a moment. Should be able to turn in behind them.
Yeah, so this is real world traffic that I'm going with. We're going to have to change our runway, and I'm not sure if that changes our departure or not. But let's just give a little look-see here. What's the
3449, fall to 900. You guys need a run up.
What's the oh man, chase plane's so cool. Goldsy! It's better than flatbeds. And they're paid a little more. That's not the line? Yeah, you're right. The line's over here. I'm distracted. You're not even taxiing on the line! Triggered! There was snow covering the line. It's so cool, I'm actually following real world traffic. This is, if you're asking, this is several programs on top of each other, but it's basically Ultimate Traffic Live, which is providing the AI models, and then it's PSX Seacon Real Traffic, and then it's PSX Seacon Traffic, and then Real Traffic, and I'm injecting the ADS-B data from the real world into the simulator. And so this, in the real world, that plane right there in front of us is actually right there. It's just crazy. Do I do FSE in P3D? Wow, that would be Inception. FSE inside the P3D. Yes, I am afraid that I may have broken my FSE client. Meaning